Tasmania has some of the most beautiful landscapes you could ever hope to see. And when you mix that with some of the best motorbike riding I have ever done in my entire life, you get one pretty epic adventure. Welcome to Project Tasmania. Shakedown Day 0, a ride definitely not worthy of counting as an actual day. Our journey starts here in Albury-Wodonga, where Wayno and I live, to meet up with Steve and Adam and make our way down to Geelong to catch the ferry. I wish I could tell you that driving over 350k's on the freeway was a blast, but it really sucked. Kind of like that camera angle with half the helmet in it, but don't worry, I fixed that halfway through day 1. And lucky for you guys, the journey to Geelong is only 30 seconds long, so we have a beer to end the day and set sail for Tasmania. Our aim for day 1 was to head west from Devonport to Stanley and see if we couldn't find some fun along the way. With the bikes ready to go, we headed off on a search for coffee. First stop, a little north coast town named Penguin, and a massive shout out to the Penguin posties for some destination ideas and snapping our first group shot. We hit the road once again in search of some sightseeing, and although it was early on day 1, I got one of my favourite pieces of footage from the entire trip. After spotting some deer on the way out, we headed for Stanley and the Nut. It was during this ride that I quickly discovered how incredible the scenery in Tasmania was, and had I not been riding with the lads, I would have spent way too long filming it all. After a quick stop in Stanley for lunch, a quick chat about where to head next, and to fix that god-awful camera angle, we headed out of town for an epic shot of the bikes in front of the Nut. Our destination was Arthur River, a little town on the west coast and a lookout called the Edge of the World. While the riding had been pretty amazing so far, it was time to find some dirt. A cheeky little back road scratched the itch with some easy off-road riding. Fast open straights that shortcut us back onto the main road, where we headed for the town of Tarraleah, which would be our last fuel stop in the northwest. As we came into Tarraleah, we saw a couple of friendly faces from our childhoods and decided that we should probably stop to take a photo. And then, just as we were pulling up at the pub in town, these legends were heading off for the afternoon in search of some fun. After staring at some photos on the wall in the pub of this awesome little surf beach called Green Beach, we then headed to find our campsite in Arthur River. After a little bit of searching to avoid other people, we found where we would stay the night, and this is where Steve-O discovered his exhaust pipe is hot.
Not impressed. That hurts. Oh.
I'll have to move that down, eh?
I don't think so.
We had a pretty incredible first day riding, but it was at the edge of the world lookout where Tassie really turned it on with this epic sunset. Day one was done. With Hobart as our aim for day 3, we knew we had to cover some serious miles on day 2, and without really having a plan, the tiny town of Tarraleah ended up being our destination. Even though we had over 180 k's to our next fuel stop, we decided it would be a great idea to do some beach riding. And when you mix a motorbike way out of its depths on the sand and a pretty bloody average rider, you get pure cinema, so sit back and enjoy the show. After a quick discussion on how stupid it was attempting a sand track, we decided we'd find a spot for a beach photo and then retreat with our tails between our legs. And on the way out, more pure cinema, of course. That ridiculous idea behind us, we headed for the Arthur Pyman Reserve and what would be some of the best riding of our lives. was about here that I realised I hadn't fully prepared my gear for the bumps that we were about to encounter. And shortly after almost losing my battery bank, I noticed an epic lookout where all the lads could join me for a photo. Well, almost all of them. Lucky Steve-O and Adam decided to stick around to get into this epic shot. Before long, we were back on the trail and headed for the town of Corinna, where we would cross over the Arthur River. But not before I would hit another pothole and have my battery bank slide off into the wilderness, never to be seen again. Just down the road, the Fatman barge was ready to take us across the Arthur River, and this is where we got to meet Kip and Em, two legends on Tenerays, out exploring the amazing Tassie countryside. We rode with them all the way to our next fuel stop in the town of Zion. After a little fun flying through some twisties, I decided to slow down and start enjoying the scenery. And maybe also because my bike said I had 30 k's left till empty and I had massive fuel anxiety. After topping up with less than a litre remaining, we parted ways with the Tenerays and headed for Queenstown for some sightseeing. It was here I discovered that one of my rock straps hadn't lasted through all the potholes, and after a quick rejig of my storage, we were on our way to Tarraleah for our second night of camping, and look at those views. What we found when we arrived in Tarraleah was a town that felt more like a cult than anything else, but cheap campsites, epic food, and another ripping sunset, day 2 would be impossible to beat. Thanks for tuning in, and part 2 is coming soon.